This is Marley K. Hope everybody is doing well. I want to bring you an update on CBDC. This will be the mechanism for the no buy, no sell system whenever it goes live. If you are new to the channel, I've done quite a few videos on CBDC, the B system, or the no buy, no sell system. That's what I like to call it. I don't like to call it the B system because there are so many different components and avenues, but I like to focus, solely on the no buy, no sell that is referred to in Revelation 13. So, this article is in the Forbes magazine, part of the digital assets section, and it says central bank digital currency, the power of financial data. We need to pay attention to this because it is demonstrating to us um, how they're going to collect data, who's going to control it. They're having these discussions now. Although I believe they already know what they're going to do, but they just have to, play it out for those of us who are paying attention. And I don't think that they have everything finalized. I don't think everybody is going along with everything that they want to do. And I don't believe that it's going to be as simple as they think it will be. Nothing that they do works the way that they intend it to, but we still need to pay attention to it because it will impact us. And this is where we all are going to have to walk our faith. We're going to have to make a decision. Everybody on the planet is going to have to make a decision about whether they're going to participate in this system. And this is the mechanism that governments will have to determine who buys, who sells. You won't be able to go to the grocery store, buy gas, pay your bills. So what's your plan? If you're a believer and you not getting the mark, you're not planning on being a part of their system, the adversary system, you have to have an alternative plan. You have to have um, um, some things in place for whenever they start rolling it out. You will be, I'm not going to say okay, but you will be able to sustain yourself until we are delivered from this evil. So let's get into this. So, as the momentum for central bank digital currencies builds globally, one crucial issue remains unresolved, with the significant implications for sovereignty and privacy. Who will control the financial data underpinning CBDCs, and how will this control shape the future of our privacy and decision making? Okay, so the whole purpose of this is supposed to be so that everything will be safer and it's supposed to be better. But how? Like everything is being hacked right now. So how are they going to be able to keep this data safe? It makes no sense. And like nobody's questioning this. And then two, our privacy. They're letting you know there's not going to be any privacy. If they're collecting data, that means there will not be any privacy. Somebody's going to know what's going on at all times. So this is how the B system is going to control everybody because they will know everything that you're doing at all times. You will be under constant surveillance if you are in this system, and there will be no escaping it. So let me continue. So it says in one of the previous international global monetary fund. Oh, this doggone thing keeps popping up. I don't know how to make it go away. Let's see. I want it to go away. Go away. There's no way to make it just disappear. Oh, I don't know how to make this thing go away. Just go away. Okay. Well, I don't know how to make it go away. Anyway, just ignore that box. In the analysis, the IMF reviewed the implications for the financial stability of a central bank issuing a digital currency to the public. It addressed some critical issues regarding design choices, gradual implementation. So, see, this implementation is going to be gradual. It's not going to be, here you go. So, this is why we have to be aware of all the adversaries devices, and it's gradual now. Like your digital wallet is on your phone, so you can go in the store and pay with your phone. Everything is leading us closer to the B system, which is why you must resist all the temptations to do stuff more easily. It's gonna work to a it's gonna be to your disadvantage if you're taking the easy route now, because when you have to go back to the ways of old, it's gonna be very burdensome, and you will regret it. Um, Not choosing the more difficult way or resisting all the ploys of ease. Everything gonna be easy. It's gonna be easy. It's gonna be better. They're always gonna sell that to you to sell you on the B system every time. So every time they say something gonna be better, it ain't gonna be better. Just gonna help you get on closer to this mark that you're gonna take, and the choice that you'll have to make. As far as which side of um, good or evil you're gonna be on. You're gonna be with the Most High, or you're gonna be with the adversary. Ain't but two choices. Gotta pick a struggle, and one struggle gonna be light and easy, and the other one gonna be hot and hard. Gotta just be thinking that way. Um, so it's advantageous to you and yours to be figuring out how you're going to navigate this now. So it says these are important issues to address when developing the country's CBDC policy and regulatory framework. However, while the IMF's recommendations provide a framework for financial stability, the questions around infrastructure, ownership, data access, and data governance remain unanswered. Central banks and international organizations must recognize that the access, management, and potential ownership of all data collected with CBDC infrastructure will ultimately determine not only how transparent and democratic digital currencies will be, but also whether people will or will not want to use them. So, if they are going to be transparent, that means everybody's going to know what everybody is doing and purchasing, and anything else that this data that they collect will be used for. Everybody who's on blockchain technology will know it. That's what, when they talk about the immutable blah 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 people. You can see the record to go from here and there. People all hyped up about this stuff, not really understanding what the end road is, or where the end road leads to, and it is crazy. Um, so what is CBDC's infrastructure? Hello. Okay, so it says, as come on down. As Norbert Michael writes, the CBDC infrastructure determines how that control is divided. The CBDC infrastructure is the system that supports the creation, management, and use of digital money issued by a central bank. This is why we are paying attention to it, because this is how when we get to the end and the no buy, no sell system, it is going to be monitored by the international global monetary system, and they are going to have access to everybody's financial data. Governments are going to turn that information over. As a matter of fact, we may have a government on a continent, but all governments are going to be working together, because it's going to be one world government. Um, from a technical standpoint, it makes sense for a central bank like a central bank to issue a digital currency they can control. Unlike cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Tether, which operate on decentralized networks, for now, a CBDC is a government controlled payment instrument, mostly presumably centrally managed and overseen by the issuing authority and or their technological provider. This means the government could directly control who uses it, how much they can use it, and for what purposes. Let me read you Revelation 13 through 17 again. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, which could be their minds. Don't know, this could be. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And I'm going to just read 18 for good measure. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath both understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and the number is 666. So this is why I'm talking about this, because they're basically telling you that the government will be able to directly control who uses their digital currency, how much they can use it, and for what purposes. So, biblical prophecy is lining up. So it says, for example, even if a CBDC were launched as a restricted bearer instrument, a digital currency intended for specific uses or groups, they can have certain groups who use it. Y'all know Negroes is going to be grouped together, and we ain't going to be able to do but so much with our central bank digital currency. The government could maintain tight control over its issuance and usage. That's what category we're gonna be in. As soon as they roll it out, they're gonna make sure that's what category we're in. While this could initially lead to efficient monetary policy implementation, the long-term implications are concerning. As Roger Huang, author of Would Mao Hold Bitcoin, noted, the more control you give a government, the more they will exert that control, which is what we already know. This tendency for governments to expand their power is well documented, and history shows the risk of centralization. We can also observe a trend towards centralization in China. However, the ECNY is not seeing widespread adoption. After more than 4 years of pilot testing, the government still faces challenges in identifying convincing use cases, resulting in limited uptake. And that's going to always be the case. Like, nothing they do makes sense. I keep on saying it don't make no sense. Why I got to give you all my information? Why I got to let you spy on me if I want to go buy some pads or uh, uh, bubble gum or beer? Why you got to know? That ain't none of your business. China is advancing plans to use the ECNY for international trade beyond its borders. And maybe that is precisely where we should be using the CBDCs in global trade. Yet let us go back to the key question of this piece. Who is in control? Who is to control the infrastructure and thus the financial data? So it says, over 2 decades, we have come to realize that one of the greatest powers that we, the people, gave away was our data, as Shoshana Zuboff writes in her spectacular Surveillance Capitalism. We celebrated the new digital services as free, but now we see that the surveillance capitalists behind those services regard us as a free commodity. And so that's what I've been telling y'all for the last couple of years, that anything they offer us for free ain't free. They download this app, is free. Download this QR code. Use this to look at the menu. Use this to get on the airplane. Uh, Everything that they do free is not free. There's always a price to pay. We just don't realize it. From our behaviors and preferences to our tendencies in the digital world, these pieces of personal information have been collected, analyzed, and monetized by big tech companies like Amazon, Meta, Google, and Microsoft. So this is how they're going to get everybody, because now they know every group of people, every individual person who has a smart device or a computer, we're tracked. So they know everything about us, and they've been tracking us for years, decades. So they know generationally. They know what your children look at. They know the amount of porn your spouse is watching. They know everything. There's not anything they don't know. So we ain't you ain't hiding nothing. They got a file on everybody. Everybody. Even our text messages, they read those. Some of these apps can actually they have you've given them permission to sift through your text messages, and they gain or glean information from those as well. What once seemed like harmless interactions, searching, shopping, or scrolling, have fueled the creation of a vast digital ecosystems and products that thrive on our data and create billions of profit. This reminds me of Temu and Sheen and um, uh, all of the social media influencers. They get paid to peddle products to you day and night. It's just a whole new world that like we can't wrap our minds around. But this is why I don't watch TV. I watch certain things on the YouTube, and they'll just be like, we need to go get this heifer because she always looking at something she ain't got no business how to prep. She reading stuff and trying to be knowing what's going what's going on. She gonna be rounded up. She ain't doing nothing. She ain't buying nothing hardly except for stuff to put in her preps to take care of people. She ain't buying no shoes and clothes and so they know everybody's buying habits because we have to use the internet to buy so much stuff. And I live in a rural area, so there are a lot of places have closed down, so we are limited to what we can access. So sometimes it's easier and less expensive for us to purchase online. So they know everything that we do. Ain't nothing that these people don't know about us. So you need to really understand that. But as concerning as this is, there's an even greater area where data holds extraordinary potential for the big tech, governments, and financial institutions themselves. The world of financial data. Financial data is not just about transactions, it is a detailed map of our lives. It reveals where we go, what we buy, who we support, and even how we think. Now go back to doggone Revelation 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. This is how they're gonna do it. And they're already doing it, but most people don't even know, and most people don't even understand how close we are to the system flipping and this becoming a reality. They just are very casual, and doesn't matter how much you just raise the red flag and scream and blow the trumpet and do all the stuff. They don't care. Moreover, it reflects clearly our value system as we show how much we are willing to spend and what we actually use the money for. With increasing digitization of payment systems, this data is now more valuable than ever. This is why everybody's like, "Oh, we don't take cash no more. We don't take cards and this Venmo and Cash App and blah blah blah." Everything got to be digital. Everything is leaning towards fintech or financial technology. The potential power that comes from having control of the entire financial infrastructure is staggering. Imagine a system where every transaction is traceable, every financial decision is logged, and every account is under scrutiny in one system. This is the reality we approach as governments, central banks, and private companies move forward towards fully digital financial systems, including innovations like CBDCs. This is why all the bank branches are closing. This is why the banks keep on having glitches. The system is already set up to switch. They are already tracking us. They've been tracking us. That's why we got debit cards with chips in them. That's why we got swipe. Even if you got EBT, EBT is getting ready to go digital. Everybody getting a chip, some kind of chip, and it's only going to progress. It's leading to that Neuralink, getting you comfortable with chips and buying and selling. One could argue, oh, I'm sorry, while these systems promise convenience and efficiency, they also open the door to unprecedented levels of surveillance and control. One could argue that the level of digitalization we are already here. Oh, let me read that sentence again. One could argue that with the level of digitalization, we are already here. We have created a space where all these data come together and are analyzed. To some extent, this argument might be true. Thus, ultimately, the question is no longer just about who sees the data, but how the data is used. With a complete picture of financial flows, entities, be it governments, big tech, and financial institutions. Now, go back to what I was telling you about earlier in my other piece about the climate change plans or the climate action plans at COP29 and that Forbes article. Same exact three, uh, um, entities that were mentioned: government, big tech, and financial institutions gain the ability to predict behavior, influence decisions, and restrict activities. For instance, if financial data is totally centralized and controlled, it could be used to enforce policies in real time, such as limiting spending on certain foods or freezing accounts for regulatory violations or many other less foreseen actions. And this is why when the scripture says, all, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. Everybody gonna get some. Everybody. Everybody. Ain't nobody gonna be exempt out of this system. But does it stop there? Financial data represents power at scale. It is a tool for shaping economies, guiding consumer behavior, and influencing political outcomes. Consider some of these examples. In the hands of governments, financial data could ensure better tax compliance and combat fraud. It could also erode privacy and freedom if misused. Well, you can guarantee that's going to happen. Did you participate in on the anti-government protest? Did you buy a ticket for a metro coming from the protest? For corporations, access to financial data means precision marketing, targeted lending, or monopolizing sectors by understanding consumer vulnerabilities better than they do themselves. For individuals, the loss of financial autonomy could create a future where our spending decisions are no longer our ours at all. Future a future where we are directly controlled, profiled, and potentially discriminated against, like black people. That's what people. Everybody finna be black. That's what's getting ready to happen. Everybody is getting ready to be a Negro. That's what's getting ready to happen. So we already know what it's gonna be like. So for us, it's just gonna be like, oh, it's something else that's policing us. Oh, or something else that's gonna take away some rights and privacy from us. Oh, okay. Well, it ain't nothing new. We already been through this. We've been going through this since we've been in captivity. Before we went into captivity. So, what's new? Except for if we don't have any systems of our own, we haven't created any little micro ecosystems. We are not engaging in permaculture or anything like developing our own food, having uh, old black communities like we used to, where different people did different things. They used their talent, skills, giftings, and abilities to keep the community going. Like that's how they sustain themselves. Somebody was agriculturalist or a farmer, somebody was a seamstress, somebody had a grocery store, there was a fisherman, there was a butcher, everything, a black trash man, everything you needed for your community you had. We don't have that anymore. All we got is people who talk and don't know nothing. They know how to mumble rap songs, they know how to twerk, they know how to buy weave and fingernails and eyelashes. They don't know how to do nothing else. Most of these people can't even read. They know how to sit down and play video games all day. And the big data, they know that. They know who online all day playing video games. They know who's on their phones playing Candy Crush Saga all day long and not doing nothing. They know. They know. Trust me, they know. The risk then is clear. By consolidating control over financial data, we risk creating systems that concentrate power in ways that may be incompatible with individual freedoms and democratic values. Well, those two things don't go together. The power of financial data must therefore be balanced with robust safeguards, ensuring privacy, autonomy, and accountability. The risk is clear, but is the solution? No, the solution is don't do this. Let us go back to paper money, having our coins and shekels in our pocket, and give them to whoever we want to give them to, and take these cameras down. That's the solution. Stop policing us. Get us off of this digital plantation. We shouldn't have to pay our bills online. We should be able to go to the bill place and pay our bills in person. We should be able to go to the bank and withdraw our money and spend our money as we please. Talk to a teller, not deal with the computer. So the solution is clear, but they ain't having it because this prophecy is being fulfilled. So this is what we have to understand. That's why I'm talking about it, because we need to understand what CBDCs will mean for us. Not that we didn't already know, but I just wanted to read this because this was a really in-depth article. It's quick, but it's in depth about like what's coming. As we navigate this new era, it is worth reflecting on the lesson of the past 2 decades. We, along with the democratic governments that represent us, must ensure that the technology and infrastructure we adopt for the CBDCs are designed to truly serve and benefit their users, us. They don't make nothing to benefit us, nothing ever. So this is why you can't trust it, because every time they say they doing something for us, it's really for them. Achieving this would mark the first time in history that such systems are intentionally built with interest of individuals at their core. No, this is the first time in history and the last time that they're going to cause us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. That's what we getting ready to get into, y'all. So anyway, I want to share this article with y'all so you can understand the ramifications of what's coming, who is going to be in charge of the digital currencies, how, what it's going to look like. It's not going to be a one thing. That's why I just call it the no buy no sell system, because it's a part of a larger system. The B system is very going to be complex. It's not going to be no one thing, but we just kind of need to talk it out and see what it's going to look like in the future and how we're going to resist it. All right, so hopefully you gain a little more insight about what's coming, so that you can prepare. Understand that digitalization is not our friend. So this is why you need to declutter or de-digitize your life and be preparing for how to navigate life without it, because you're not going to be able to participate in this system once it is forced upon everyone. Like right now it's optional. Right now it's in the development phases, but we don't know when they're going to create the chaos that brings the order that forces us down um, that path, and then we have to choose. So we just need to be ready. Scriptures have already told us what's coming, so we need to be ready for those of us who are awakened. And for those who are not awakened, or who are just now coming into the awakening, you don't have much time. So you need to be really reading up on these things and studying what the end times is going to look like, because Christianity is not talking about it. And they're leading a lot of people into the technocracy that is going to cause them to have this mark, either in their foreheads or their right hand. And I don't know. And, I keep thinking about forehead. You know, I don't know if it's going to be a chip or if it's just going to be deceived. And your mind is going to be so warped, and you're going to be so ignorant because you did not take the time to seek wisdom. You are going to have a very difficult time trying to figure out how to navigate things, because by the time it starts happening, it's going to be too late. You're not going to know what to do and where to go. So anyway, I just want to share this with y'all. Please give me your feedback in the comment section. Like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. I will include a link to this in the description box so that you can read it for yourself and share it on your social media pages. People need to understand what is coming or what they're going to do with money, because it is going to impact everything we do. And as Negroes, so-called black people, so-called African Americans, descendants of chattel slavery, they're gonna monitor. We gonna be in trouble. We already know it. They want to exclude us from this system, and they're going to exclude us from this system. So we need to be prepared. Um, Again, like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload new content. You can follow me on Rumble and Odyssey. The links are in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel financially, at the very bottom of the description box are links to sites for Coffee, Venmo, and something else. I think Patreon. But don't donate to Patreon because I canceled that. So um, Coffee and Venmo. And lastly, continue to prep, pray, seek the Most High on what you need to do, or and how you need to move in order to navigate all these things that are coming. We have a lot of things that we got to navigate, and you got to multitask. You got to be a critical thinker. You got to be an overthinker. You got to overanalyze everything, and you can't trust nothing, not even me. But I am providing you with good resources for you to do your own investigations. Use these sites and stories as foundations to move forward in the future. Um, as far as doing your research for what is coming with the beast system, because it's coming quickly, and all these things are coming together. In my opinion, they're already ready. They're just trying to put all the pieces together and make all these different things work. But I don't think it's going to be long. 2025 is going to be here, which gives them 5 years to do all the stuff that they need to do. And we got to have a period of chaos. It seems like the period usually lasts about 3 years. So I say between next year and 2028, we can expect a whole lot of stuff to happen in order for them to get to their 2030 goal of having everybody who remains on the planet marked. Pray we are found worthy to escape, and pray that we are delivered. Let us look up, because we need to be redeemed quick and get up out of here. This place is getting ready to be hell on earth. We thought it was bad, but it's really getting ready to be bad. All right, y'all. This is Marta K. Love y'all. And